This is my main guitar for Death Clock. It's like the ultimate metal guitar for me. And I tune it down to low C, and I think I have like a 54 or a 56 on the low E string and a 10 on the high E, so it's like a light top, heavy bottom kind of string. And I had my brother actually make this pick guard. He has a lot of tools that he can make these things with. So he made this pick guard, just cut it out. I gave him the old one, he just traced it and made it. So you can make your own at home if you want to. And this is an EMG 81, and this is an EMG 89 pickup. And these are both active pickups that are powered by 9-volt. It's back here somewhere. And this one is an 89, which is really cool because you can get a really awesome split. There's a coil tap in there, so if you pull this out, you've got just one single coil in the bridge, and if you push it down, you've got both the pickups together. But it gets a nice, brighter, even twangier sound, just that bites through everything. But these are really great, super cool, great high output stuff, especially if you're playing metal and you're getting those harmonics and all those cool sounds.
Who inspires you most in terms of the guitar technique that you're playing when you're recording these songs?
I think like 4 or 5 different people. I think about like when I'm playing stuff, I think about Brian May often. I think about Paul Gilbert's guitar playing. He was just an amazing shredder and just a really musical guy. Yngwie Malmsteen very often. Just a lot of like the shredder guys, you know. Who else?
You mentioned Zakk Wylde.
Zakk Wylde, of course, is like those harmonics and stuff like that, which is kind of just now just a mainstay in kind of metal playing too. But Steve Morse is a big influence of mine. Big into the Dixie Dregs. Yeah, I think that's pretty much them. Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, easily. Just guys that really play their guitar. Like they're always kind of inspiring to listen to. And so yeah, what I try to do is rip off from everybody and hope that they won't sue me. Yeah.
Skwisgaar, his playing is modeled after.
I think when I do some solos on the record, and I think more in terms of Skwisgaar, which means that like it's more kind of Yngwie Malmsteen, kind of like, you know, legato and shred, and more kind of articulate picking licks and string skipping things, and he just does everything over the top and more with more dexterity. And then Toki, I think he's a good player. He does what he does, but he's more of a pentatonic box player, and he knows a couple of notes within the scales, but but Skwisgaar kind of dwarfs him in the playing. But Toki can definitely hold his own in the studio. So I have to kind of think differently. Like I'm like, oh, this is a Skwisgaar lead or this is a Toki lead. So there'll be songs where I definitely feel like you can hear one guitar finish its end note and another guitar comes in, and it's usually Skwisgaar takes the first solo and Toki comes in afterwards. So it's kind of like hand acting with the guitar, hand sound acting with different characters in mind. Just like, you know, it's funny, when you start playing guitar, you learn, like comics do, like impressions of different actors and stuff like that. Like everyone can do De Niro and everyone can do. And you learn the same thing with guitar playing. So you learn your Eddie Van Halen licks, and you learn their, you know, and you can do that. And Angus Young has a different kind of vibrato, so you can kind of do impressions of different players and stuff. So learning all those things kind of helps you round out your sound just a little bit too, and kind of make your own decisions and kind of decide a little bit differently. You don't have to commit to one vibrato or one certain particular style of playing ever. Most of my guitars, this one and this one and this one, are all down to drop C, not drop C, but standard C tuning. So it's C, F, B flat, you know, and so on. So it's not like a drop C. All the strings are tuned down low, so that affects your vibrato and what you can. And the strings are looser. So when I have my guitars tuned up to like this one for the Duncan Hill's Coffee Jingle, that's a standard tuning, so the strings have a little bit more. They yield a little bit less when you're bending, which is sometimes you really miss that when you're playing this low.
So Duncan Hill's was an E?
It was in a drop D actually, so okay. It was everything was E standard except for the low E, which I tuned down full stop. But these, like, they've chambered out some of the guitars to make them a little bit lighter, and these are super high output pickups. So when I'm playing like high gain and high output pickups, it's just you don't have to play as hard, you don't have to dig in as hard. You can kind of just relax on both hands, and especially when you're playing metal. It's all about just making sure you're relaxing and not hitting the string too hard.